We're going to get back to you, but for the moment, maybe we can take our message to the Eastern Province as well, where we have got our correspondent who's joining us live through DTL, Abdurrahman Al-Rayani. Assalamu alaikum and good morning. How are you, Abdurrahman?
Alaikum assalam. Good morning, Saima. I'm doing good, alhamdulillah.
Abdurrahman, we are going to be talking more in today's edition of the program about administrative leadership at higher education institutions. But, well, you know, we are having a very interesting discussion here from our studio as well. We have got our guest, Mr. Talat Hafiz, here in the studio, who was speaking to us for all of us to be a little bit more careful while we are spending time online, not to be giving our accounts or any details to any of the online networking websites, advertisement that shows us that we can make quick money in no time and things as such. So we were creating more awareness about it. But moving on to the Eastern Province, well, we hope that everybody is going to be doing just the same over there as well, and not to be falling a victim of any of these quick money making strategies or campaigns which could actually steal from you your precious valuable money.
Yes, of course, Simon. Thank you very much. Well, as you have said, today we are covering the rounded table meeting, which is organized by the management of institution in cooperation with the Ministry of Higher Education. The meeting from 8 a.m. To 5 p.m. will cover the culture of academic leadership with the presence of around 22 universities. And it's a pleasure now to have our distinguished guest, the Professor Polman, the international expert in leadership. Doctor, how are you doing?
I am doing very well, thank you.
So we are welcomed in Saudi Channel 2.
Thank you very much.
First of all, Doctor, what are the, the aspects that you are discussing today here in this meeting?
What we're looking at today is what are the special characteristics of universities, of higher education, that university leaders need to understand so as to be as effective as they possibly can in what is very hard work. It is not easy at all to lead in universities.
So what are the problems or challenges that facing the leadership, the university leaderships?
One of the challenges is just the complexity of the work. Universities are both about generating new knowledge, they're about transmitting knowledge to students who are coming up, and they're about serving the larger community. And all of that is complicated, and sometimes those different tasks go and take the university in different directions. So for people who are trying to lead, it is very challenging, very difficult work.
What were the image you were having before coming to Saudi Arabia? As you told me that you are coming for the first time, and what is the image now after having a meeting for like 3 hours now?
One of the things that has, I suppose one of the things I've noticed since I got here that's been delightful is how very friendly and very responsive people have been here. It's been just a great delight to get to know many of the people who work both in the ministry or who work in universities in Saudi Arabia.
So how do you foresee the future of the management leadership in Saudi Arabia regarding what we have seen today?
I'm impressed with the people who are here. We've got clearly some very talented people and some very intelligent people and very thoughtful people. They have a very hard job. Higher education in Saudi Arabia, I know, has been growing very fast. The world is changing fast, and Saudi Arabia is changing. So it's very difficult to keep up with all the changes in the world, particularly because universities themselves often change very slowly. So the world's changing quickly, the university changes slowly. The leader is often in the middle there trying to figure out how do we keep up with the situation, at the same time continue to do well what we need to do well.
Well, do you think or expect that we will having scholarship from Europe to Saudi Arabia or to the Gulf countries? And what year do you think that?
I would think so. I think that higher education, university, the research world is very much an international world. And most of the professors who work in a Saudi university are in a discipline where many of their colleagues are in the Middle East, in Europe, in Asia, and in the Americas, so that it's a very much an international profession. and it's becoming more and more so because of how quickly the internet, the speed at which we can get around the world these days. So I'm expecting there will be more and more interchange as time goes on.
You told me about Noura University in Riyadh, so the thing that distinguished you early. So what do you have idea about this university?
Well, it's very intriguing. One of the interesting things about the Saudi higher education system, which makes it distinct from much of the rest of the world, is these very large universities that are specifically for women. You don't see that in most countries of the world, and that's a very interesting development in of itself.
Yeah, it's a big campus, like maybe around 10 kilometers square, and really having a very importance now in Saudi Arabia, and ladies also having a very great importance now. Well, Dr. Lee Polman, the international expert in academic leadership, thank you very much for being with us.
Oh, thank you very much. Shukran.
You're welcome. Yes, Saima.
Abdur Rahman, it seems to be really an interesting discussion that you have just had, but talking about
Yes.
the leadership and higher education, especially here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we get to see the custodian of the two holy mosques constant support towards
Yes.
the field of higher education and education in general as well, and we get to see so many of the changes, including those to the budget of the Ministry of Higher Education, with more and more students going abroad on scholarship programs. How important is this this event which is taking place currently, and how important do you think is the administration of leadership when it comes to higher education here in Saudi Arabia with such a large number of our students going abroad?
Well, as well as students going abroad, also we have a chance now for students in Saudi Arabia now to have this kind of opportunity to pursue their higher education, and this is a very great importance. Now we are targeting so many students now in Saudi Arabia. They come in here. If you talk about the Eastern province, you can talk about Prince Mohammed bin Fahd University, King Faisal University, which is enhancing so many students now to study here in Saudi Arabia rather than going outside. And we know that we have at least an yearly almost more than 300,000 students now outside studying there in USA or in Canada or in Australia. So this is a great chance for improving and upgrading their abilities.
Indeed, and with this, Abdur Rahman, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us in today's edition of the program.
Thank you very much to you.
And well, we hope that you're going to join us soon in another edition of the program. Thank you very much for that coverage. And for